So I just want to talk to you guys about diet for a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of diets going on now, and a lot of people don't really know what they're doing, or they try to stick to like one diet. And you know, there's different diets for all kinds of different types of people. So your number one diet tip, well, like let me just start off. I'm not a nutritionist at all. I don't know too many things about nutrition, but I have done like a lot of different diets, so I feel like I have like knowledge in this area. But please don't take any of these as like facts or as like, just like hardcore. Don't take any of these like too personally, you know what I'm saying? So like my number one diet tip is just your diet has to match your goals. Like just for example, if you're like a high school athlete and you're trying to put on like 20 pounds to maybe go to like the next level, I would never recommend that you try to eat like just chicken and broccoli and steak and asparagus and stuff like that. Like to put on those 20 pounds in a couple months or a year or whatever, you're gonna have to eat kind of like crap. Like you're gonna have to, have these big meals with lots of carbs, lots of protein, lots just of food intake. Like your food intake is gonna have to be ridiculous to put on that kind of weight. So there's like a lot of diets now that really like bash carbs, like the keto diet or the if it fits your macro diet, the vegan diet. I mean, all those different types of diets, like that wouldn't work necessarily for someone who's trying to, move up to the next level, like a high school athlete. So that's like the number one thing. Is like your diet has to match your goals. So let's say maybe, you're 30 years old, you want to be more of an endurance athlete. Like a good diet would be keto, necessarily. And here's the thing with keto is like a lot of people are doing keto wrong. They just want to eliminate carbs like completely. And I have done this, and it is the wrong way to go. Like, I was not eating vegetables. I wasn't eating fruit. Like, I was strictly just eating meat and eggs. And, like, there was no carbs in my diet at all. I think I had, like, an avocado in the morning, and that was maybe, like, 3 grams of carbs. And, like, it's really hard to do that, especially if you put your body through really, like, strenuous, like, rough workouts, because your body actually needs carbs. A lot of people don't understand that. They just think all carbs are bad. But there's certain carbs that are good for you. Let's say like fruits, nuts, berries, anything like that. Those carbs are like good for you. What you want to stay away from is a lot of like the processed sugars. So you want to stay away from things like cereal for breakfast. Obviously you don't do that. Like breads, pastas, anything that's like unnatural that you won't find like in nature, you pretty much want to stay away from. Like refined sugar and like sugar that's made for, like man-made, is terrible for you. Like cut that out of your diet. I promise you'll start losing weight. Like I promise you'll start feeling better. Like, and the thing with sugar, the reason why it's so hard to cut out of your diet is because your body naturally craves it. Like let's say if you're feeling like having a craving for like Oreos, try to switch it to something like, try to eat just like 2 or 3 slices of pineapple, you know what I mean? So your body still gets that sugar from it. Like pineapple is really sweet, so it would replace your body's feeling of needing sugar. But then again, don't try to go overboard and just be like, well, I have all these sugar rushes all day, so I'm just gonna eat, tons of pineapple. Like if you were ever in nature, you would not eat like 2 oranges, 2 or 3 oranges. Like that's ridiculous. Any person who sits down and eats like 2 or 3 oranges is just like, it's just a ridiculous amount of sugar, and your body just can't handle it. So when people say like, oh, I'm drinking this orange juice, it's really healthy, I'm like, how much sugar does that have in it? Like there's probably like 40, if you have like 2 glasses, it's like 40-50 grams of sugar, and like your body's just not made to process all that sugar at once. So try to keep sugar very minimalized. Maybe in the morning. Pineapple is really good for like inflammation. Berries have a lot of antioxidants in them, so like you can use those in the morning. Just add maybe a handful of berries to some oatmeal, or just eat some pineapple in the morning, and it'd be really good for you. What else? There's a lot of different types of diets. Like I said, like the carnivore, if it fits your macros diet, the carnivore diet, which is strictly just all meats. And there is people who can like benefit from this, but you guys got to understand that everyone has a certain body type. So let's say, like, there's a reason you're not LeBron James. There's a reason you're not Mike Rashid. For the people who know Mike Rashid, he's an incredible bodybuilder. But there's a reason you're not built like all these athletes. Prince Fielder is a known vegetarian or vegan, and that man is a giant. Like, like, everyone talks about how you have natural genetics for like lifting. Everyone's like, oh, I don't have good genes. I don't have big calves. I don't have big arms. I don't have big whatever. Like, nobody talks about genetics when it comes to food. Like, some people will just naturally, like, when they take in protein into their bodies will just absorb all of it, and their bodies can make really good use of that protein. Other people, if they eat too much protein, their body just doesn't know what to do with it, and it just gets wasted. I mean, some people are known to eat like lots of carbs and do just fine, and their body can run off carbs. Other people have to eat lots of fats. Me personally, I try to stay with fats and proteins and minimalize carbs, because I get really like lethargic throughout the day. Like, my insulin levels will just like spike through the roof and just like crash. So like around that like lunchtime period, like I try to eat like a salad and some steak or like some veggies, just because if I have like some bread or some like, you know, really sugary carb, my body is just gonna crash. So keep in mind with whatever diet you decide to do that it's for your body, and you're gonna have to experiment a lot. Like, a lot of people don't want to believe in that, and they want to think, oh, this keto diet is the perfect diet for me, or this carnivore diet is the perfect diet for me. Like, you are gonna have to experiment. There's no doubt about it. You're gonna have to see what works for you. I kind of found out what works for me, but you guys got to realize that diets are changing every day. Like, more science is coming out about diet. One day, like, you know, you'll read that like dairy is really good for you, and the next day it'll be like, oh, dairy is not so good for you, and the next day it says, you know, eat all your food in one meal. That's another like big diet that's going on, is just eat one meal a day. Okay, well, a lot of people can't do that, just because, like, for me personally, if I ate one meal a day, my body would shrink. Like, I know right away my body would shrink. I'd probably lose like 10-15 pounds. Like, I have a very fast metabolism. It's like my body constantly needs a fuel source to burn, and like I'm trying to put on muscle, I'm trying to put on weight, so there's no point in me only eating one meal a day. Also, with like fasting too, I know a lot of people get on this fasting trend. Let's say your goals, if your goals are to lose body fat, then fasting's perfect. Like, I love the idea of fasting. I think it's great. I think your body kind of needs a reset every now and then. I'll do like a 24-hour fast, just because I think it's really good for your body, just to kind of have like nothing for a while and just give your body a break. Because if you're constantly just feeding your body steak and protein and like that, your body is under a lot of stress when it tries to break down red meat. So giving it a day off, you know, once every 2 weeks, two times every month, whatever you want to do, is a really good idea, just to help like reset your body. So that's also a good thing. But like I said, fasting's great if you just want to lose body fat. If you're not ready to stick to like a hardcore diet, then fasting's probably the best option for you. You know, fasting is just you either eat in an 8-hour period or a 16-hour period. Like, you consume all your calories. So after that 8 hours, you don't eat anything. The only thing you can really have is water, black coffee, and green tea. Other than that, you're restarting your metabolism again. You're restarting your body, trying to break down anything. So fasting's a really good idea for people who don't necessarily want to change their diet but still want to try to lose fat. And you know, you could also do like fasted cardio in the morning. I know a lot of people do that. I do that in the morning. I do like fasted sit-ups in the morning, because I really think it helps like with my midsection. So I'll do, you know, like 100, 150 fasted sit-ups every morning, just because so I'll wake up and like I'll just have a glass of water and then go straight into my sit-ups. So there's nothing, like, my body is literally just burning whatever I ate last night. So it helps to burn more fat that way. The last diet I'll talk about is vegan. So a vegan diet, it could help you. There's a lot of people who have really good, you know, results with a vegan diet. I have tried a vegan diet actually for like 3 or 4 days. I know that's not really trying it, but a vegan diet was really rough on my body. I just think like everything that I put into my body that was vegan, it just got processed so fast because my metabolism is just like insane. Like I feel like I have to eat like every 2 or 3 hours. Like I like break down food so fast. So with like all the plant-based and raw foods and stuff like that, my body was just like going through it. Like nothing stayed in my belly. I felt constantly hungry. I felt tired, and like when you're tired, all you can think about is, man, I need some food. But there, like I said, it's all about your body type and what you find works for you. Some vegans have like found that it works out really well based, like plant-based. Like I know a lot of endurance athletes, a lot of marathoners and Ironman people, they prefer a plant-based diet so their body can break it down faster because they're constantly burning energy, which is really good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a vegan or nothing wrong with being carnivore, doing keto. So, I mean, you just really have to figure out what works for you. And then, just a couple more tips is stop telling people you're on a diet. It's kind of annoying. I know people like to be like, oh yeah, I'm on this keto diet, or I'm on this diet, I'm a vegan. Stop telling people you're on a diet. It's really annoying, especially if you're going out to dinner or anything. Be grateful if somebody takes you out for dinner. Don't be like, you know what, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm on this diet, blah, blah, blah. Try to eat around it as best you can. Be thankful for all the meals that you have. Be thankful that you have food. Like, a lot of people just get really, like, uppity and be like, oh, I'm not eating that. I'm on a diet. So holidays, eat whatever you want. Like, I know I love the 4th of July, hamburgers and hot dogs. Like, I'll probably put away at least like 5 hamburgers, 2 hot dogs, cookies, chips. So like for me, on holidays, I eat whatever I want. So that's really good. Every Saturday, I have a cheat meal. If I do go out, I try to keep it pretty much like a keto-based diet. Like if I order a hamburger, I won't get it with the bun. I'll stay away from French fries. I'll stay away from like refined sugars. But also at the same time, you got to live life. I mean, I know the other day I had a milkshake with my cousin, like this giant Oreo milkshake. And you know what? Sometimes that's good. It may not necessarily be good for your body, but it's good for like your overall mental health, I guess. Like your body deserves a treat. Like food should be something that, you treat yourself with. It shouldn't be this like, oh, am I eating right today? Did I eat? Oh man, I had a soda. Does that mean it's bad? But like, just try to focus on like eating as best as you can throughout the day, and then sometimes treat yourself. It's important to surround yourself with family and good food. Like have a glass of wine here and there. I don't really drink too much anymore. I did drink a lot like while I was in college, but I don't really drink anymore. But occasionally, if my friends go out, have a few drinks. Like there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting rewarded. And finally, the last diet tip I have is stop wasting food. This is probably like my number one diet tip is I don't like people who waste food. Like it is so annoying to see somebody who buys a giant freezer, like a giant fridge full of healthy stuff, and then you just are like, oh, what'd you get today? And so like, oh, I ordered a pizza. Like if you're not ready to fully commit to a diet, don't go and buy all this healthy stuff. Don't go and try to like put on this front like you have a diet. Like you have to be ready to commit. It's the same with like anything. Like they always say like drug addicts and stuff, like if they don't, they have to be like fully ready. You have to be fully ready to stop any addiction. Food is just as much an addiction as gambling, drugs, whatever you want your addiction to be, like, or whatever your addiction is, I should say. Like with food, it's hard. I know it's hard to switch your diet, but you got to be like 100% ready. And if not, maybe don't go buy a fridge full of like good stuff. Maybe buy one meal. Try like one meal first. Buy some veggies, some meat, whatever you got to do. Try to have one nice meal a day. Try to have one nice meal a day, and then maybe that leads into 2, and then that'll lead into 3. But don't waste food. That's like my biggest like pet peeve. I personally like to have my fridge fully cleaned out almost every week. I don't believe in wasting food. It's just not cool. So please don't do that. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for diet. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below and let me know what kind of diets work for you guys. Like what diet do you follow? Have you followed? There's a lot of diets that I haven't heard of. So if you have, if you're doing any diet, just tell me what it is in the comments. If it's new, I'd like to learn about it, see what it's all about. But until then, have a good day.